These are the 70 times the Dragon Ball anime was different than the manga. Like, did you know that the iconic over 9,000 moment was different in the manga?
It's over 9,000!
Yeah, I think you probably did, right? In fact, not just the manga. It was different in both the manga and the original Japanese version of the anime. The original dialogue said that it's over 8,000, whereas the over 9,000 meme is simply the result of the English localization. But let me tell you that this difference is kinda nothing compared to all the stuff that I'm going to list from here on out. Let's see how many of those you knew before watching the video. For example, every Dragon Ball fan knows about the Saiyan Tuffle War, right? The Saiyans killed all the Tuffles, took their planet, and renamed it Planet Vegeta. But did you ever know that none of this was actually shown in the manga? The Tuffles were never mentioned in the Dragon Ball manga, not even once. Though it's worth pointing out that Toriyama did come up with the concept of the Tuffles himself, so I suppose that's something to make the anime version canon. Moving on to the third difference. Remember how Goku had to go to the Cave of Darkness to get the Ultra Divine Water, and it was also stated that 13 people have drank this water so far and none of them survived? Well, yep, that was only in the anime. In the manga, Korin gives Goku the water and he drinks it right away. And even though that was kinda something, listen to this next one. The manga never shows Goku as an infant until Dragon Ball Super, which is a bit weird considering how many times we've seen baby Goku in flashbacks across the anime. Like time after time after time. And yet, baby Goku never actually appeared in the manga until Dragon Ball Super. If you never heard about those changes, how about the one when Goku goes to King Kai's planet to train? He has to catch Bubbles and hit Gregory with a hammer before he can spar with King Kai, right? Well, in the manga, Gregory doesn't even exist. All Goku has to do is catch Bubbles, and then he gets to spar with King Kai. But hear this next. At Namek, we know that Ginyu also temporarily switched bodies with Bulma, right? This has to be part of the manga, right? Nope, that only happens in the anime. In the manga, he continues as a frog, at least until Frieza returns in Dragon Ball Super, as far as we know. But since we started with the Namek saga, hear this one I found next. Goku's Super Saiyan transformation in the manga is more abrupt and less climactic than it is in the anime. Heck, there's a major difference between how the manga depicted the fight and how the anime did it. In the anime, Frieza is still able to somehow keep up with the Super Saiyan, but in the manga, he is always on the receiving end. And of course, the fight is also a lot quicker. To put things into perspective, Goku transforms in chapter 317. The 5-minute clock starts in chapter 320. Frieza powers up to 100% in chapter 321, but by chapter 327, he's already been defeated. It's going to sound weird, but in the manga, the battle actually ends within 5 minutes. Next, how about the Super Saiyan Trunks versus Frieza and King Cold fight? Once again, this fight is a lot quicker in the manga. In the anime, Trunks allows Frieza to attack before slicing Frieza in half, and King Cold also gets the time to beg for his life. But in the manga, both of them are killed swiftly. But generally speaking, Super Saiyan as a whole transformation is way stronger in the manga. If we fast forward to the Android saga, everyone remembers that Goku was having trouble against Android 19, but it wasn't like that in the manga. He completely owned Android 19, at least until the virus made him collapse. Next, check this. In the anime, we also see the crazy sequence of Vegeta training to become a Super Saiyan in space.
I wanna be a Super Saiyan! I wanna!
Losing hope and then becoming a Super Saiyan anyway. But, well, yeah, this isn't a part of the manga at all. In the future Trunks timeline, Trunks became a Super Saiyan after Gohan's death, right? Well, in the manga, he's already a Super Saiyan. How about the anime special episode next? Well, it also depicts future Gohan to be stronger than he actually is. He was able to fight Android 17 and 18 pretty competently until they both ganged up on him and killed him. Well, in the manga, he just fights 17, and then even 17 tells Gohan that he wasn't even using half of his power. Gohan gets killed by Android 17, and there was no need for both androids to gang up on him. Before the Cell games now, Goku and Gohan take a 9-day break. The anime shows them doing a lot of things during this break. Goku and Gohan go fishing along with Krillin, and Krillin also tests Goku by throwing a rock at him while he's resting. Again, none of these happened in the manga. Gohan also celebrates his 11th birthday with his family during these 9 days because he missed it when he was training in the time chamber, which again, doesn't happen in the manga. In the anime, there was also a reunion between Goku and Mercenary Tao when Goku is searching for the Dragon Balls for Dende. Mercenary Tao is hired by a rich guy to help the guy collect Dragon Balls, but Goku is also collecting the Dragon Balls. This leads to a situation where Mercenary Tao tries to trick Goku into giving him the Dragon Balls, but he fails because Goku's stupid. In the manga, none of this happens. But how about the Cell games now? Well, they do have a different start in the anime. Mr. Satan pulls up with his disciples Koroni and Piroshki. His disciples fight Cell before Mr. Satan fights Cell himself, but in the manga, the first fight is Cell versus Champion to begin with. Also, in the anime, there was a flashback from the time chamber training where Goku saw a glimpse of Gohan's Super Saiyan 2, but this doesn't happen in the manga. In the anime, Piccolo, Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin all all attack Supercell to help Gohan, and then Vegeta also attacks. But in the manga, it was only Vegeta who intervenes in the fight to give Gohan the edge to finally finish off Cell with his Kamehameha. Pikkon is a great character in the anime, and he even serves as one of the main primary characters of the Fusion Reborn movie, but he was never shown or even mentioned in the manga. After the time skip, we see Gohan going to high school in the city and all that, right? Plus, he also gets a costume from Bulma to play superhero. But did you know that in the manga, Videl figures out his true identity almost immediately? She figures out it's Gohan the first time she sees the Great Saiyaman. But in the anime, it takes a few more awkward encounters. Moving on, Goten's first Super Saiyan transformation is shown in the anime as a flashback. He was training with Chi-Chi and somehow transformed into a Super Saiyan. In the manga, this flashback is never shown. Goku meeting Goten for the first time was a wholesome scene, with Goku lifting his son like a father. However, in the manga, he doesn't lift Goten, and there is barely any proper interaction between them until much, much later. Well, I'm glad they at least made that change. The anime also has a scene where people of the Dragon Ball world see an animated, goofy representation of what happened during the Cell games. It shows the Z-Fighters using special effects and costumes against Cell, but ultimately, Mr. Satan enters the battle and destroys Cell. This is an anime-exclusive scene, and also not even canon. Now, we all remember the horrible Videl versus Spopovich fight, where Videl is brutally beaten half to death, right? Well, in the manga, Goku uses instant transmission, grabs the sensu beans, and returns. But in the anime, he ends up having a meal at Koren's place before realizing that he should be heading back with the sensu beans. So yeah, I think the manga did it better here. Now, even though the previous change was not the best, the iconic battle between Goku and Vegeta has a lot of additional, much appreciated stuff this time in the anime. Vegeta using energy rings and the two of them fighting in a cave, or even the scene with Vegeta using Final Flash to push Goku into the water. None of these were in the manga. Next, check this. After Buu absorbs Gotenks in the manga, he becomes so strong that Gohan is unable to land a single hit, right? But in the anime, Gohan is able to keep up with Buu tanks and only loses after he begins to run out of stamina. Vegito versus Super Buu is a bit different as well. In the anime, we see Vegito fight Super Buu in his base form before ultimately transforming into Super Vegito. But in the manga, Vegito transforms into a Super Saiyan right away. How about some production decisions next? God of Destruction Beerus arc and Golden Frieza arc started off as movies before they became a part of Dragon Ball Super. The Dragon Ball Super manga only spends 4 chapters to briefly go over the God of Destruction Beerus arc. The Golden Frieza arc is only briefly mentioned, and then the Universe 6 arc starts from chapter 5 onwards. A quick one next. When Goku and Vegeta train in the Time Chamber, they use Super Saiyan Blue in the manga, but in the anime, they just train in their base. The manga version of the Universe 6 arc includes the friends and families of the fighters in the audience. The Pilaf gang also goes, though not in the anime. A more interesting difference is how Frost isn't actually evil in the manga. Unlike the anime, where he was an evil space pirate pretending to be good, Frost is not evil. He's more of a trickster than an actually evil guy. He does use the poison needle against Goku, but he doesn't break bad or lash out like he did in the anime. Also, in the anime, he is knocked out by Hit, but in the manga, he is defeated by Vegeta. During Goku's fight with Hit, he uses Kaioken times 20 on top of Super Saiyan Blue, but in the manga, he only used Super Saiyan Blue. In the manga, Goku tells Trunks that he is now stronger than how strong Gohan was in Cell games, though he says no such thing in the anime. Goku versus Trunks is also a bit different. In the anime, Goku defeats Trunks with Super Saiyan 3, while in the manga, he briefly uses Super Saiyan God. Remember how Goku Black travels back in time and fights Goku in the present timeline? Yeah, this does not happen at all in the manga. Next, Trunks spars with Vegeta in a random forest when it comes to the anime, but in the manga, they properly train in the gravity room. In the manga, Goku Black can transform into a Super Saiyan, and then he uses Super Saiyan Rose, while in the anime, Goku Black's Super Saiyan Rose form is treated as what happens when a divine being goes Super Saiyan. Basically, the manga treats Rose as a Super Saiyan God form, while the anime treats it as a regular Super Saiyan form. The one who suggests using Mafuba is Goku in the manga, but not in the anime, as that someone is Piccolo. To add on to this, while Goku is the one who uses it in the manga, it's future Trunks in the anime. He learns it by watching a video tutorial by Piccolo. In the anime, future Trunks uses Super Saiyan Rage against Goku Black and future Zamasu, but there's no such transformation in the manga. He fights using his Super Saiyan 2 form and ends up getting overwhelmed. Vegeta, on the other hand, shows his red-haired Super Saiyan God form for the first time, but this happens only in the manga. If we're talking about the anime, Vegeta's Super Saiyan God form debuts in the Broly movie. The fusion between Goku Black and future Zamasu is also different in the manga. In the anime, their fusion goes over the time limit, but in the manga, they also begin to diffuse because neither of them is an official Supreme Kai. After their fusion ends, Goku Black and future Zamasu each transform back into their fusion state. They then start multiplying like shadow clones. But in the anime, their physical form is destroyed and they merge with the universe. Next, there is a technique that we only see in the manga. Can you guess which one it is? It's Vegeta's technique called Gamma Burst Flash, which he uses against fused Zamasu. Plus, Future Zero only erases Universe 7 in the manga, but in the anime, he erases all universe and brings an end to the multiverse. When he erases Trunks' timeline in the manga, the time ring to that timeline ceases to exist. Now, although the Future Trunks saga had its differences, the arc that has the most differences out of any other Dragon Ball arc is the Universal Survival Saga. To start off, in the manga, Whis delivers Bulla from Bulma with just a mere look, but in the anime, he uses his staff. In the anime, Gohan is a part of the team from the get-go, but in the manga, Vegeta is the one who tells Goku to get his son on board. Next, a quick one again. Krillin's little sparring session with Gohan and then Goku doesn't happen in the manga at all. And in the manga, it's Krillin, not Goku, who recruits Master Roshi. Another thing about Vegeta is how while Goku and Gohan are the ones who decide the team and the strategy in the anime, it's Vegeta in the manga. He discusses it with Beerus, Whis, and Shin. The match between Universe 7 and Universe 9 doesn't happen in the manga. Instead, a battle royale between the gods of destruction takes place, though it is cancelled because the Zeno duo found it hard to follow. So instead, a match between Goku and Toppo takes place. The manga also includes how the other destroyers have a grudge against Beerus because he fell asleep during the all-universe hide-and-seek tournament. The whole revelation about Jiren being stronger than his god of destruction happens after Goku versus Toppo in the manga, while in the anime, it happens during the actual Tournament of Power. Then there's Frieza. When Goku approaches him in hell, he seems all calm and composed, but that's just in the anime. In the manga, he has PTSD and is basically fuming with rage and bitterness. And speaking of Frieza, he and Frost team up in the manga just like they did in the anime, and Frost is betrayed in both cases. But because the manga version of Frost isn't technically evil, he doesn't try to attack Frieza from the bench and doesn't get erased for lack of sportsmanship. Kale is a much more normal person in the manga than she is in the anime. In fact, she is also already familiar with her primal power when we see her for the first time in the manga. We don't see Caulifla learning to turn into a Super Saiyan in the manga, but the whole shtick with the tingly sensation was a big deal when episode 92 came out. Now, Kale's Berserker mode is an absolute menace in both the anime and the manga, right? However, hear this, she is much more dangerous in the manga. She's the one who puts an end to Universe 2, 3, 4, and 10. Heck, she also ends up eliminating her teammates, Vegeta, Saunel, and Polina. Yes, Kale has a dangerously high body count in the manga. Of course, Kale and Caulifla fuse into Kefla in both mediums, but in the anime, it is Ultra Instinct Goku who defeats Kefla, while in the manga, Kefla fights Gohan, and the battle ends at a stalemate where both of them simultaneously eliminate each other. By the way, in the manga, Kefla tries to challenge both Jiren and Goku, but Gohan enters the chat and stops her from flying too close to the sun. In the anime, we see Master Roshi fights multiple participants from other universes and then ultimately gets eliminated while trying to save Vegeta from Frost's Mafuba reflection. But in the manga, his role was helping Goku awaken the Ultra Instinct. You see, Master Roshi faces Jiren himself. He dodges a punch from Jiren to give Goku some inspiration before getting eliminated. And thanks to him, Goku realizes what it means to move purely based on your instincts. This is relevant to how Goku awakens Ultra Instinct thanks to Master Roshi in the manga. But in the anime, it happens after he takes on the full brunt of Universe 7's Spirit Bomb. Though I'm sure everyone would agree that the anime handled this better. Episode 110 literally broke the internet. Android 17's self-destruction in the manga was to take out Jiren, but in the anime, he self-destructs to save Goku and Vegeta from getting eliminated. 18 has two different reactions to 17's self-destruction. In the anime, she is visibly upset, while in the manga, she simply braces herself to also raise 17's children. Now, we all know that Gohan and Kefla eliminate each other in the manga, but in the anime, Gohan holds Dispo in a chokehold and asks Frieza to eliminate them both. To add on to this, in the manga, both Dispo and Toppo are eliminated by Frieza when he destroys a part of the arena. This is also different from the anime, because in the anime, it's Vegeta who defeats Toppo. Speaking of Vegeta, he is already eliminated by the time Goku uses the proper Ultra Instinct state, but in the manga, he sticks around and helps in the fight against Jiren. The manga also shows us Goku and Vegeta fighting together in perfect sync against Jiren, while in the anime, they had no sense of teamwork at all. Jiren's wish is something that is never revealed in the anime, though in the manga, we learn that he wants to bring his master back to life. In the manga, Goku does not experience the backlash from using Ultra Instinct. Instead, he slowly loses it as his stamina decreases. But of course, in the anime, Ultra Instinct suddenly stops, and he is hit by sudden, intense pain and shock all over his body. The final battle with Jiren involves Goku, Frieza, and Android 17 in the anime. But in the manga, it's just Goku and Frieza against Jiren. And after they eliminate each other together, 17 is hailed as the winner. The manga also reveals that he knew he'll survive the self-destruction. It was all according to plan. Of course, 17 is the winner in both the anime and the manga, and his wish to bring back all the universes is also the same in both cases. Though there is one difference. In the anime, he wishes to bring back the other universes because of his newfound appreciation for humanity. But in the manga, he does it because he didn't want the Omni Kings to have their way. This is also why the manga never mentions anything about how all universes would have been erased if the winner used the wish for something other than bringing the other universes back. Yeah, that part was anime only. By the way, 17 was originally planning on wishing for a cruise ship, so in the manga, Vegeta tells him that he can have one of Bulma's ships, while in the anime, Bulma gives 17 a ship herself. The manga also adds another detail. The Grand Priest tells the Supreme Kai that Universe 7 has moved up in their mortal level thanks to their victory. This is not in the anime. Now, in the anime, Frieza thinks that he'll be sent back to Hell now that the tournament is over. But in the manga, he just politely asks Goku to hurry up and use the Dragon Balls to wish him back to life. In both cases, Whis immediately returns him back to life. Click on this video next, where we analyze the worst decisions ever taken in Dragon Ball. Go on, check it out!